my favorite place. This is Park Street and we are checking out what's on the menu at Curve. Big thank you to Harpo and the whole team because these guys always treat us to something great. And I'm going to be joined on Danu on Fire with a fabulous guest. She teaches you something so unique in life and I can't wait to speak to her. As my guest today on the show, I have Shobana. But I'm in conversation with Shobi. Hi, Shobi.
Hello.
So you would have seen the work she does, and she does a lot of work. So let's speak about your fashion brand first.
Okay.
Is it actually? Would you call it a fashion brand, or would you call it?
It's a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
1948
Yeah,
shop.
I got it completely wrong. I said 1968.
Yes, definitely not 1968. 1948.
And it celebrates a lot of Ceylon.
Yes, so it's an independent Sri Lankan brand.
Okay.
That was the thought process, that everything was sourced here, local craftspeople, local materials, celebrating Sri Lanka.
Okay. So now, when you say local craft people, like, do you go out and like find these people?
Actually, I've been really fortunate. I found the team that I've been working with right from the start. So we've actually worked together now for almost 11 years.
Wow.
Which, sometimes we pull our hair out and sometimes we fall apart, but it really is the same guys. We work together. I have two different sort of silversmith people I work with, and then we have different packaging and different people for hand craft work, sewing,
like
that.
Putting it all together.
And
now, all what you are wearing is all yours?
Well, yes, the bangles are all mine. The necklace is mine.
Oh, wow.
The earrings are
you first
borrowed.
Had to check whether you are actually wearing it.
Yes, earrings are borrowed. And this is all 1948 stuff.
Brilliant. That's really nice. Now you can dig in as well.
Thank
now
you
have this very, you have a very unique, I introduced you saying that you give a new dimension to life. That's how I will
that's
keep
a big one.
Shobi in mind.
My goodness.
Yeah. You eat seafood?
I do. I do eat seafood. I don't eat four-legged.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
They're not there this very
They're
moment.
not there.
Yeah. So now, why I said that you have a new dimension to life? Please, sir.
Okay.
Why I said that you have a new dimension to life is because you see life in a very positive way. Tell me about it.
Wow, that's nice to hear.
Yes, I have seen it, and I'm sure a lot of people who know you will agree.
I see it in a positive way. Well, I think we fall down, but I definitely think we have the strength to get up again. I think our head is high up in the anatomy because we need to hold it up high. And I think there are road bumps, but I think it's all navigatable because I really believe that God has a plan for all of us and we need to be here to do that work.
How did you find yourself doing what you're doing today? So you are into yoga, you are into, what can I say, a very calm, collected life.
Well, I think I got there through my own personal story and struggles. I remember after my O-levels, GCSE time, I had something called chronic fatigue. And
what is that?
They couldn't really diagnose this. They could never find what was wrong, but it was chronic fatigue. I was constantly exhausted. I was falling asleep if I came down the stairs. I couldn't go to school for many weeks at a time. It was a really...
I had the same thing. I just got a stomachache every time there was a maths exam.
So I couldn't do exams for a while. And then I did all the blood tests, I met my GP. They could never really quite figure it out. I met nutritionists. But I remember it was this iridologist I met who read my eyes and she gave me like a huge new diet regime that was all food based, not supplements. My God, Danu, it changed, like it completely changed my energy. It changed my life. I had energy, I could go out, I could do things again. And then I started looking in more and more to the alternative side, to complementary therapies, things that were not necessarily available through my doctor or GP, but they were addressing how I felt.
Right.
And I think that was always the thing for me, like how are my feelings related to what my body is experiencing? So yoga was already in my life by about then. Then I later decided to understand more about homeopathy, and then I started using it. So little by little,
now you do not follow Western medicine at all?
I think there's definitely a role for Western medicine. It's very useful. There are some times that we really need it, but I think we can do a lot of maintenance ourselves. I think that if we take care of our mind, our emotions, our body, we don't need to, succumb to just antibiotics and antihistamines at a drop of a hat. I think that can be navigated.
And in Sri Lanka, they give it very freely, no?
I think everywhere they give it very freely.
But not in other countries, there's like I have family members who live abroad and they're having a fever, they'll wait till they're about to hit Borrella Kanatta before they run to the hospital. But we are the opposite.
And here also we self-prescribe, no?
Yeah, we're all doctors.
Yes, I remember as a child going on a trip, my mother will just take the antibiotic
just in case.
Which
course.
Is now something I would never think of.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's get into a break. On the other side, we're going to speak a little bit more about her brand and where you can actually get your chance to be groomed the way she is. More on this when we do come back. Do stick around. It's Danu on Fire. Our second segment, and this is the time where we get to eat main. You have got what you would like.
Yes.
Avocado and...
I love avocado.
There you go, you have it all. I have liver pate.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I have strawberries.
But it's a great flu remedy.
Yes. Oh yeah, because I am a bit under the weather.
So...
Yeah. The minute I said I was under the weather, they were like, Corona! I said, no. There are other levels of sickness in this country as well.
Only
like
Corona.
A normal viral flu. But I'm just infecting everyone who's here. That's about it. Simple as that.
Oh dear.
This comes with the job. Can't cancel a shoot. No after you're dressed up and dolled up and all. So now tell me, I wanted to speak to you about now your brand.
Yes.
Now tell me the uniqueness of it. Now I've seen, who designs it?
Me.
Moi. You design everything.
I design
Eat and
everything.
talk,
Okay, I design everything. I pack everything.
Really?
So I'm like the storekeeper. I'm the designer. I'm the CEO. I'm all of it.
Everything. PN, the whole works.
PN, all of it.
So, what made you start this brand?
Actually, I had.
Did you always have this style in you?
I was always interested in art.
Okay.
I did art for my A levels.
Right.
I liked fashion, I liked art, I liked painting from a very early age. But what really made me get into the brand was I moved to Sri Lanka from the US and I was looking for a gift for my brother and I really wanted to get him a pair of cufflinks. But I couldn't quite get, the bling bling. Didn't have that kind of money to get the bling bling cufflinks, but I really wanted to make something funky and something cool and that he would like.
And also back in the days, cuffling never came across as something that everyone wore. Yeah. like only now people have understood cufflinks.
Actually, now cufflinks are really big here.
Yeah.
So I wanted something classic, I wanted something funky, and I went to a jewelry, like one of those Christmas time sales, and there was this guy and his wife, and they had a little stall, who I still work with now.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, oh, you know, I have this idea, can you make me this pair of cufflinks? I scribbled it out on a nikam piece of paper, and he said...
This is like a Harry Potter trilogy.
Yeah, and he said, hurry. And he went away and then called me and he said, it's ready. I was like, okay, great. Then I needed to put it in a box.
Yeah.
Then I needed to put it in a bag.
Right.
Then I needed to say what it is. And little by little, I created the pieces. It was really because I wanted to gift him
Have you
this.
have you thanked your brother for all of this?
I need to say that. He's the inspiration.
The want, the need. The
Yes.
need became a want. No, the want became a need. That's what they teach you in marketing,
And
right?
because he's like,
Fashionista.
quite fashionista. It had
Yeah.
to be like
Something
a bit
unique.
different. It had to be
Yeah.
unique. So I put a lot of effort into it.
That's
and
amazing.
there it was.
And now see, it's like it's one of your main things.
Yes, and actually that pair of cufflinks still is my bestseller.
Wow. Which
That
is
one. The 10 cents coins.
cents. Do you
Yeah.
find these 10 cents still?
Yes.
Yeah, you
All
can
the
find.
Paranabadu days and all
You know,
can
those
find.
days when we were kids, I know it's illegal. Don't shoot me now for saying it. We used to love putting a coin on the railway track. And you wait till the train goes over it, then it becomes all flat and nice. Like it just, you wait
Then
to
I
see.
can make that into a ring.
Correct. But I don't think it's legal.
Okay. Oh, yes, you can't do that. You can't do that.
You can't go near a track as well. But
No.
this is when we were kids at that time. We were much more smarter to know that if you go close to a train that's moving, you'll die. Nowadays, kids tend to take a selfie and forget the world that is around them.
I
So
know.
that's why they're dying. So let's not go there.
No, let's not go there.
Our biggest sin was keeping a coin there. Now, I wanted to speak to you about your other things. You also
Mm-hmm.
do like spiritual, like you're into like helping a person's aura feel good. Did I say
That's
it right?
nice. That's a nice way of saying it.
Thanks,
That's a nice way of saying it.
Thanks.
So my main work is I'm a homeopath.
Okay.
I'm a homeopathic practitioner.
So that means you give, you can
we
give.
prescribe homeopathic remedies. It's made pretty much the same as an Ayurvedic pharmacy, except it's diluted 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times in water. So it's very, 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 very much the essence of that, whatever it is. So it could be extract of bee, it could be kottamalli. It's highly diluted. And you treat the person, not the symptoms. So you have the flu and I have the flu, but your flu might be different to
your
mine depending on what we're feeling, who we are, what our sleep pattern is like. So you have to look at quite a few other things. And I have to say I love homeopathy. I can't think of illness, wellness, living without it.
So now this homeopathy, you have to, like, is there a demand for it in Sri Lanka and how big is it?
Actually, yes, there is quite a demand. I remember when I moved here, there was like,
Zero.
not like, it was very much within very certain specific communities. On the East Coast, within like the Muslim communities, it was common, but they had practitioners like within the family.
Right.
So it wasn't like they were looking outside maybe so much. In Sri Lanka, it's also not propagated like in India. India, it's thriving, it's doing really well. In Europe, it was thriving. They had a hospital dedicated in the
Wow.
UK, and they just got, changed policies, and now it's no longer supported in the same way. But saying that, I've seen a huge demand in Sri Lanka in wellness, holistic living, exponentially, actually.
But when you practice homeopathy, they say that you should not mix it with Western medicine.
So what I do is we first meet the person, and wherever they're at with their Western medicine, we don't change it. We slowly strengthen around them however we can, so that when they go for their next doctor visit, when they reduce, and when the doctor reduces the prescription, then we slip in the holistic things. So that's how I got into the yoga and I got into the pranic healing, because as you need to have more than one tool to strengthen and support a person, and not everyone needs the same thing.
All right, now we're getting into a break. Eat up.
Okay.
When we do come back, we're going to speak a little bit about family, person, Christmases at home, and so much more. You'll stick around. It's Danu on Fire. Final segment. So now, Shobi, for those, can you cook?
Yes, but
I
I'm
mean-
not a huge fan, but I can cook.
Not a fan of cooking.
Not a
but
fan
can you
of
cook?
cooking. Yes, I
you
can cook.
can?
Yeah.
People have not suffered the consequences.
No, my children, one is going to be 18,
Ah,
one
there
is
you go.
14. They've survived it,
They
so
have-
I think I've done a good job.
They have lived long enough.
Yeah.
Please dig in because sweets, everyone's weakness. I wait for this part of the show.
I can share with you.
I'll also share this with
Okay.
you because I know how this might taste. Because I kind of have a feeling that this is really nice.
Yeah, I know, it looks really good. It's very nice. It is very good.
This, I don't know what it is. I think it's tiramisu, but it's so nice. It's like ice cream and cake.
I know. Ice cream and cake is always a good combination.
Of course.
So please
So
try.
how were you when you were growing up?
Fabulous. I was wonderful.
Apart from the fact that you were falling ill every time you walked down the stairs.
Yeah, that was later. No, that was
Ah,
after
sorry.
O levels
Ah.
and all that, and then between boyfriend trouble and life generally and all the rest of it, I was falling very sick. But I overcame that. Before that, I was lovely.
No, like, were you like notorious in school, or were you like just do your thing and go home?
I think I was a bit of a do your thing and go home kind of person.
Really?
Yes. But I was
Consider that you
always
went to
like,
Bridget's?
I left Bridget's when I was 9. Then I went to CIS.
Oh,
And then I left CIS and we moved to England.
okay. So you're in Bridget's for a very short time.
Very short time. Very short time, but they remember me.
But do you identify yourself as a Bridgetine still?
I do for myself, but I'm not a big part of the alumni or the community. But it
just for
really,
like 6 years.
yes, but it did leave a huge impact in my life.
Of course, they know how to put your legs together and sit in one place.
Oh yes,
Yeah, they teach you those very
Yeah.
strong.
Very strong.
So how was it when you were growing up? Like, what is your favorite meal to eat? This show is about food, so
Yes, favorite meal to eat.
what's your Sunday special like?
Sundays in my house was family lunch. That growing up in Sri Lanka at that time, my grandfather was always at his house, so they'd come to our house. It was a kahabat kind of
No.
scene.
With moju.
Yes, and then sometimes he would go grocery shopping and he would buy different things. And what is that purple yam?
I know what you're called. The big one, no?
The purple yam, you know what it's called from our neck of the woods.
Manioka?
No, not manioc.
It's purple color.
It's the dessert.
Ah, yes, I know. It's from Jaffna.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I don't
What
know
is
what
it
you
called?
call it.
So-
Rasavalikaland. It's what's known in.
Yes.
You know about it in
Yes.
Canada, yeah.
Because so my grandfather used to make that sometimes,
Really? And
it
you
was
like
so,
it?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved it.
I'm not so Jaffna in that.
I haven't eaten it in so long. Now you got me thinking about it. I
No, my
think
sister
it's-
can make it. I'll send you some.
Oh, I think it should be on some menus. Really?
If you don't always constantly heat it, you can also set like a jelly.
Oh no, we had it very nice and warm, and it was a little bit.
It's always
yeah,
warm. You have to have it warm.
It was very good.
That's interesting.
And then lamb was a big special. It
But can
still
your mom
is.
cook?
My mom's a very good cook.
Good.
She's a very good cook.
Now I know how your children have survived.
That's not nice. She taught me well.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, what made you come back from England?
So what made I lived in the US for 5 years, but before that London.
Oh, okay.
And I was married, it didn't work out, and then it was time to come back to Sri Lanka because I felt that if the marriage wasn't going to work out, then I needed to come back home.
Where the home is, yeah.
Where I felt like I was strong and where I felt I could look after my kids, and that brought me back.
What are your thoughts on today? Like, fashion has so grown from the time when you thought that, in your little mind that you want to create something unique.
My goodness.
We have created brands after brands. They have gone global with it. Where do you see Sri Lanka heading towards this?
Oh my gosh, I think Sri Lanka has so much potential, so many craftspeople, so many talented people in so many different areas in the fashion industry. But I do think as it's all booming, there's also this whole slow living, slow fashion, slow life kind of movement with more awareness about the planet and sustainability. So I think we need to be responsible as designers. I think we need to think about what kind of packaging, what we're making, and maybe we make better quality but less, so it's more durable and it's more sort of handed down and it's special as opposed to this fast fashion.
Correct.
Even though I am guilty of, the fast fashion, buying something from one of the big brands because it's there, it's available, the price is right.
But I must say, in Sri Lanka, there's one thing though, clothes very rarely go to waste. It's always handed down.
Yes.
It's always like so many people might have.
Yeah, I think we definitely reuse and upcycle and it's handed down.
Of course. During our mum's time, I think it was always patchwork.
Yes.
It was a huge thing. What you wear as a solid clothing becomes a patchwork clothing.
Yes, which I think is now
Coming
being
back.
revived.
Yes,
and it's at a different demographic also, right?
And also sheets and tablecloths. Everything used to be done with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
so I think you might be onto something.
I know.
Yeah.
If my mum was around, she might have joined you in the process of making new things.
Yes.
She'd have cut all my shirts off.
Yeah. I mean, I could see your shirt being a beautiful bag.
On that note, I need to wrap this up. But Shobia, thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you.
Shobana is your full name.
It is.
But everyone knows you as Shobi.
Yes, people know me as Shobi, but Shobana is my name.
Yeah, Shobana is the real name. So do check out her store. She retails at PR.
Yes, at PR. On Instagram, I'm 1948 shop.
Yeah, like me, who was searching for 19.
Yes, not 1968 or whatever you called it. But no, PR is our retail partner, and it's available there.
Brilliant. Do check them out. The page is very interesting. You get to learn so much about Ceylon. So much of Ceylon facts are shared lately.
Thank you.
Lately, I saw a lady who used to be the person who used to do the cricket.
Yes. She was the curator of the Pisara. Yes.
Tickets, yes. And for 40 years, she said.
For 40 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love her outfit. She was just in a sari.
I know, she looked beautiful. She looked so elegant, so graceful. I think the sari is a classic.
Brilliant. Well, on that note, we need to wrap things up on the show. Thank you so very much for joining us. Until we see you with another episode on Danu on Fire, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.